Rajma or red kidney beans dip. Hi, this is Ananya's Passion, where we party with food. One of the occasions where we kind of can't really figure out what to serve is at a party at home. You know, when you're serving drinks, you kind of want to serve something that's easy to make and light on the stomach, but you kind of lose out on what to serve because you don't want to serve something deep fried. So a good idea is to make a nice dip with something that's very familiar in all our Indian kitchens, especially in the north, but we're going to present it in a completely different manner. The homely Rajma is now going to be served as a fancy dip. So here are the ingredients. Boiled Rajma or red kidney beans, the stock from boiling the Rajma, chopped onions, chopped tomatoes, lemon juice, coriander powder, black pepper powder, cumin powder, salt, finely cut coriander leaves, oil. So we're going to warm up a pan here, and while it's warming, I'm going to tell you a little trivia. Did you know that Rajma or red kidney beans did not actually come from India? They actually originate in Peru, and okay, this I think is getting warm. So we're going to add a little bit of oil, and I'm going to go back to my story. So as I told you, the Rajma beans, the red kidney beans originate in Peru, from where they went all over South America, and then the Portuguese and the Spaniards got it to Europe, and from Europe to the rest of the world. There you are. The familiar Rajma is not so familiar anymore. So the oil is warm and we add the onions. So let the onions cook. Actually, this dip is really interesting because most of the times when we make a dip, it kind of has white sauce and other ingredients which is not so healthy. But the Rajma or the red kidney beans is actually a totally fat-free source of protein. Okay, now that the onions are nice and brown, add the Rajma or the kidney beans. You do know they're called kidney beans because they're shaped like a kidney, and once it's mixed, we're going to mash it. Kind of an arm workout too. Now that you've got all the red kidney beans to kind of give in to your strength and get all mashed, you're going to add a little bit of the stock and mash it some more. This is really a quick recipe. So we're going to add the cumin seed, the cumin powder I meant, the coriander powder and the black pepper. So depending on your taste, you can vary the amount of spices you want, but because the beans are a little bland, a little spices really works. So time to add some salt. And as you keep adding, you keep mashing and giving your arms a workout. So we're going to add, at least I'm going to add the tomatoes now, but you can also add the tomatoes once you take it off heat, which is the next step. But I want to add the tomatoes now because I want them to be slightly cooked. And the heat, of course, makes sure that all the flavors come nicely together. That's almost done. I have added a little more stock because I want it a little gooey. Okay, this is done. So off it goes from the heat. Our dip is almost ready. It's still smoking. I don't know if you've realized this. We've taken the plain old Indian Rajma and got it back to its roots, kind of made a Mexican-ish dish, dip which we can serve with taco chips. Okay, we're going to add some onions and some of the lime and mix it up nicely. And for all of you out there who are non-Indians, think of kind of a red kidney beans dip with an Indian spicy touch. That should do the trick. We are done. So I've got this plate ready here. So if you want to think of it as a Mexican-inspired Rajma dip, here you go. Serve it with nachos. And if you want to think of it as a red kidney beans dip, which has got kind of Indian spices with it, here you go. Serve it with some Indian snacks. I'm so bright. One last touch of coriander, one last mix, and the nice chunky dip is ready. I kind of like this dip a little chunky, but if you want it more smooth, you can take the whole recipe, and once you cook the beans with the tomato, etc., you can put it in a blender and blend it till smooth. But I want them chunky because I'm going to serve it with these snacks, which are kind of, you know, it's easy to scoop up this chunky thing with these chips. And while you're trying this, remember to come and visit us every weekend. We have new recipes that go up at 5 p.m. India time on Friday and Saturday every week. Have fun, have a great weekend.